part of Mercury retrograde. Not only, it also it's a time of perspective, revisiting things. But anyway, let's start this episode. Anna Malus Kisman here, the Juicy Life podcast, a weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, thought provocation, all with the goal for you and me to have the most fulfilling, the most aligned, the most juicy life. Anything I learn along the way that works for me, that is interesting, that is inspiring, I want to bring it, share it with you. Anybody I come across and I meet on my way that also does the same, which they are inspiring, they are motivational, they are interesting, they are doing their own juicy things in life. I also bring to you last week, I had Julie Turkle. She's a brand licensing expert. Very interesting conversation about the future and trends in brand licensing, about her career, about also some woo-woo stuff, astrology, psychics, etc. So one of those guests I want to share with you. But today is a solo. I'll try to keep it short. I couldn't believe that the one recording I just did not record was 30 minutes. 31. So let's try to make it shorter. But this one is kind of like my episode coming out as a person who works in energy, works with energy, does energy and soul readings. As you know, I do breath work. I talk about it the most openly because I am not scared, because I am not scared that you are going to reject me and everybody will think that I completely lost marbles, that I'm like doing energy work now. But I just want to talk about it for a second, why I'm doing it. So there are two reasons why I'm doing it now, why I'm so interested in it, I'm going in this direction. First one is that I always was interested in it. That I was always, since I remember, my first psychic experience was when I was 15. I went to the psychic. I still remember she was just like smoking cigarette after cigarette. And she told me that I'm going to live on a different continent. And I was like, no freaking way. Like I was 15. America broke my family apart. And I was like, I'll never be here. And here I am. She also told me to be careful with the water and electricity. And I didn't understand that. But then over a year later, I did. That was a part of my dad's accident, which was crazy that she told me. And then she told me one more thing, which I'm still waiting for to happen. But that's a different story. But I was always interested in it. My dad was always like supporting it, buying me books about the reading dreams or astrology. But I was always kind of ashamed because this was like, I think it's like also like a witch shame. Wound, right? That we are like scared and ashamed that this is so weird. So that part, but also, growing up in the household with the engineer, and I think my sibling is less spiritual or like not really believing in that stuff. So there's just many things working against that. And also like my Capricorn part, like I'm very like on some level strong walking on the earth. But with this moment that I really did not feel like my career that I was doing for several years in marketing and advertising is aligned for me anymore, I really started asking what is. And it was always coming up for me, this metaphysical part of me, this spiritual part of me, this psychic medium part of me, astrology part of me. And I started just reading about all this stuff and being interested openly and even more about it, taking classes, looking for teachers. That's how I found my energy teacher. That's how I started being interested in that, because, I just started understanding myself better and understanding, many people I went to, psychic mediums, who were asking me why I'm not doing it by myself. Like I could be doing it by myself. I think everybody has those abilities, psychic medium, energetical abilities. We are less and more connected to that parts of us, and we are using it in a different capacity, right? Some people are using it in a business. I feel like, Oprah is such an intuitive person. Like all higher achieving people, I think, are deeply connected to themselves, understand their energy, understand how they work, understand how they can maneuver their energy, and they use their intuition constantly. I think this is one of the most powerful things they have, that they really have those intuitive hits and go with their gut and their intuition. So that's how I kind of finded my energy teacher, and I started doing that. But it was really, really draining for me, and it still is. I still use it in my energy readings that I do more now, and I'm more interested in that. but not, not into the capacity I used to do it. And then a couple things happened that I was like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing it. But that's a different story. But yeah, so I was always interested in it. So there's this part. And then the other thing is, I really think with expansion of digital world and AI and robotics, our energy, our intuition will be something, and I said it so many times already, but I'm going to repeat it again because I really want us all to start tapping into it and understanding it better and using it more and more, because it will be something that won't be able to be replicated, right? The robots, the AI will be able to replicate a lot of things, but not our intuition, not our energetical, not our vibration. This won't be replicated because our energy and our vibration is as unique as our fingerprints. And again, intuition is so intangible and such a element of us that it's like spiritual, genetic, DNA, energetical. Like it's just intuition is just so intangible and not replicable that's why they won't be able to replicate that. And that's why we should be learning ourselves and connecting to it more and more and understanding it and navigate it and really harness it, this talent and this tool we all have. So that's why I also do, how breath work comes into the play. I just really believe that breath work is one of the fastest, more intense, more the deepest way to clean, adjust, shift, maneuver, manipulate in a positive way, manipulate, and connect to your subconscious and your energy. Like the profound changes I see, like from mood to energy to like even look at the face of people I work with when it comes to breath work is incredible. That's why I still do it and I use it as a tool to do that. And I do now my like energy soul readings. I ask, I always felt like I operate in like a different realm a little bit, but I didn't understand it. And when I started reading about it and I started working with it and I started reading about energy, like how everything is energy and how can we feel energy and how much I felt energy. I was thinking about this whole this time in corporate world that I was so like scared talking in front of the crowd, because what I was doing is I was coming into the room and I was trying to read everybody's energy and understanding when everybody is, so I can adjust to it. And all of that was crashing my nervous system. You know what I mean? Now I don't do that. Now that's why I can like speak in front of the crowd and speaking over my class, because I don't do that. I don't have to anybody's energy. I don't feel that need if I am not asked or I specifically want to. But also I speak about things that I believe in. I speak about things that are truth. I think so many times I remember like sitting in this presentation and my voice was shaking because I was saying something that it's A, not true, B, is not going to happen. You know what I mean? And I had to like pretend that it's going to fucking happen when I already knew in my like inner knowing, gut and intuition was like, this is not going to happen. This is not true. And I have to say it that it's true. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I was like, oh my God. And I went to so many class, like acting class, public speaking class, months and months. And then when it clicked for me that this is what I'm doing, this is like this inner knowing is so deep in me that's how it works. I was like, oh my God, so it was like such a waste of time and energy, to be honest. But yeah, so those are just two reasons, as I mentioned, like why am I doing it? And it's just so incredibly interesting for me, like tapping to those abilities to like understand it. Like, when I do my energy readings, when I ask for a teacher to appear for me, and I found a teacher who will help me to shared with me her framework, how she works, then I made it a little bit myself, my own, right? Like I always, and we always do that, right? Make things a little bit our own. But yeah, and starting to understand how to work with it, how to navigate it, like what do I see, what does it mean, not be scared of it, not be ashamed of it. That's why I'm doing this episode, because like for such a long time I was like, I can't share that part of me because I feel like people will think that I went completely bankers or something, you know what I mean? But no, I think we all have these abilities. We all have this notion, like intuitive notion, medium psychic notion. Again, we are in different levels connected to it. We are in different levels in charge of it. or even believe in it. If we don't believe it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't exist in your life when you don't believe it. But I truly believe it, and I think a lot of people that I surround myself with and I am drawn to are very psychic and very medium, and I can feel it. But it's just amazing to be able to tap into it. My dream and my goal is to use it more in business setting because I have this corporate experience. I would love to, like, if somebody is crazy enough and would like advice on their business to like advise spiritually medium psychic like in business, I would love to do that. I like that. That's one of the things that I would love to get better in and get more clients in. But it's just so interesting. And I see it as, we come to people like me to have energy reading, to have soul reading, to have like a psychic medium experience because we are in moment of no clarity and certainty. And what people like me do is really rebuild that. Because how many times, if you ever had that experience, you felt like, oh my God, this is like what I felt somewhere, but you got lost in like shoots, woods, must, whatever. And then like, or you are like on lower energetical vibe, or something else is happening in your life that your confidence is lower, and people like me are here to rebuild that, to bring you back to that spark, to bring you back to this clarity, to bring you back to this confidence and to this inner knowing. I really think that a lot of psychic and mediums do that. Yeah, and sometimes warn you, or make sure you be careful about things, like this one psychic did for me this so many years ago. But yeah, so I do soul readings. When you come in, you can ask the question, and I sit down and I use my technique, and I go to different places and I see different things, and it's sometimes still so weird for me. I had a client, I was reading for somebody, and the question was around the relationship, and she was like, and first thing I saw, like, she's like a sophisticated woman in corporate world with some spiritual side, but like presents herself very like, not corporate but like sophisticated. And I saw this guy like without shirt chopping wood, or like with like little shirt or whatever, and I was like, oh my God, that's weird. But I was like, listen, this is what I saw a guy chopping wood. And then she's like, you won't believe it. And she shows me, like, she talks to a couple people on a dating app, and one of them posted like this picture of chopping wood, and actually his eyes and his energy felt the best. And actually this is the person who was like, why don't you talk about your energy and your witchy stuff and talk about it more openly on your podcast? So here I am. But things like this, I think it's just, again, it's this like this juiciness of our life. I think, we come up with so many amazing inventions and ideas, but nothing is more impressive for me than the brain that developed all of that. Like, I always think like, oh my God, this is so impressive. Like, but really what I'm most impressed is with our ability, our brain that can come up with something like that. You know what I mean? And this intuition, this psychic medium abilities that we again all have. I'm not different than you. Like, you do have that too. You may not be connected, you may not want to be connected, which is totally fine. You know what I mean? Like, imagine the world where everybody was a psychic medium. Everybody should be more connected to it, I believe, but not use it in that capacity. But anyway, wait, what I was saying, I lost the track. Yeah, so we all have those abilities. We use them differently. We are on different level tapped into them, and we on different level believe in them. And that just makes a huge difference. What else? We talk about it. Why am I interested in what am I doing? Yeah, breathwork is amazing. That's why like I said, that's why I do breathwork, because it's just one of the most profound and deepest way to shift your energy and to connect to it on the deepest level. And I'm just like thinking about this idea lately that really every single thing, all the things we have around ourselves are energy and are this, condensed amount of cells and atoms. And between these atoms, there's nothing there. It's just like a vibration, empty space that can be filled out with some kind of energy, right? So what are we going to fill it up with? Our energy is everything. Einstein said energy is everything, and it's so true. But we are coming to the times when energy is everything. It's one of the greatest currencies we have, our energy. And that's why understanding it, by observing ourselves, by understanding how we work, what brings us up, what brings us our energy down, vibration up, vibration down, understanding ourselves better, like how to work with our body and our energy and our soul and our intuition, and knowing to understanding how our intuition comes up, how our intuition shows up for you. Is it inner knowing? Is it gut feeling? Is it, like sometimes I just have like shift up in energy, like I'm getting like a level of excitement up. That's for me a good sign. When I get opposite like level, like a drag, that's my intuition says no to something. Understanding all these nuances, because also the energy and intuition speaks and works for everybody different way. I think I know where I lost the track. I was talking about us being a genius machine, and the energetical intuitive part of us being a genius machine from the body to the brain is yet again this yet another proof what a genius machines we are, between body, between soul, between energy, between intuition. It's just, nothing come close to us except like whole nature altogether, or different nature, our little brothers and sisters, animals and plants. Anyways, it's so interesting because part of the recording just cut off, so I'm kind of adding this part now. And I was talking in this part about, I'm so grateful that I am connected to that part of me right now, that I'm doing this and I am sharing this, and I'm open and transparent about it. And I know, and I'm so self-aware of that part of me, because I notice it in my kids. Kids are extremely intuitive, extremely psychic, extremely medium. All of kids. Literally all of kids. I love to pick up my girls from school or camp or wherever, and just interact with the kids, especially like up to age 10, because they are just so incredibly intuitive, and you can see it, and I can just see this little like brains just like flying around. And there's the things they say, the thing like, my both daughters just come to me sometimes with such a things, and they say something like, my little one is like constantly bringing me books that I have to like read at night, and it's something that I need to hear. Like, she's just so intuitive, and that's why I'm so happy that I know it, because I want that to prepare them more to be connected to that intuition, to understand their energy, to work with their energy. It's a little harder when you have a teen, but I'm just so grateful that I understand it better. So here it is. I'm a little witch. Oh, it's so nice to say it. And as we like to do it here a couple times, so I did it already. Let's do a little cards. Cards are such an amazing, simple way to connect with your intuition. I'm sorry, I'm constantly checking if I'm yet again did not turn off my mic. Excuse me. So they are just such a amazing way to connect with your intuition, to connect with your inner knowing. Please ask the question now, or whatever it is. If you don't have a question, this card will be just for you, to the highest good of all of us, and harm of none. And it's just such a simple way, like buy yourself card you're drawn to, go to the Mystic store, or just even Amazon, look at the cards they have available, look what you are drawn to, pick one deck, and use it weekly, use it daily, in the morning, to work with your inner knowing, to work with your subconscious, and to understand it better. So here we are pulling one card. There's so many amazing cards out there. Oh my God. Let's see what we got. Higher self. I connect with and welcome my higher self. What a perfect card for this episode, don't you think? Yeah, this is this connection with higher self I'm talking about. I hope you see this card. It's so pretty. I love these cards. I connect with and welcome my higher self. I think this is just perfect ending to this episode. Work with your energy. You are a medium psychic too. You want it or not. Connect with it, work with it, use it in your business, use it in your parenting, use it in your everyday life. Use it, because we all have this amazing talent. We really, really do. We are just less and more connected and aware of it, connected to it and aware of it. And it's so unique to all of us. It's so different between, even our energy vibration. Even, we say love is the highest form of energetical vibration. It's true, and gratitude. But how we do it, my love vibration is different from yours. And that's the notion we need to understand, feel between each other, especially in this era of AI, especially in this era of robotics, because they won't be able to replicate it, because they won't be able to have it and use it, and that will also help us to differentiate a lot of things in life.